Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another scene for Living World of Darkness. This scene is a crossover scene set in Cadwell's tea house with Mage and Changeling. And the scene takes place with Nausicaa, Theodora Alexios, also known as Anna Komnene, also known as Athena Amaryllis, is sitting in the cafe. And she is found herself a nice corner. She's actually slightly disappointed that Cadwell isn't here. However, not for social reasons, for something else entirely. However, yeah, that is where she will be found, and she's basically ordered a very, very, very sugary iced tea. Was about the best she could do. Literally just full of milk, full of sugar, barely any coffee. Basically a milkshake, and yeah, that is where she will be sitting. If anyone wishes to find her.
So yeah, from behind her, someone that. How long has Nausicaa been here?
Let's say about half an hour.
Okay. There's behind her. There's someone who she probably hasn't seen, but she knows, and the person she hasn't seen her because she's napping. That on a sofa that's her there. That Nausicaa probably didn't see her because the sofa is facing the other way, and being lying down, you wouldn't see someone lying down on the sofa. And she kind of just wakes up and sees Shea wakes up and blinks as she sees someone she knows, and she'll smile. And she just kind of comes and instead of just normally coming to sit, she does the thing where she comes from behind the stool and just hops from behind with her helping her hand.
So, I will roll a quick dice, actually. Sorry, I should have done this earlier. So, come on. Okay, actually, I need to roll 2 sets of dice. Apologies, Nelson.
Always.
Good. And actually, no, I'll do it.
I haven't set it up anywhere. Want me to set it up somewhere?
I did the mage one in mage. I'll set it up. Extra dice roll a 1. Now, this is an Arete Mind Effect. My difficulty is 4. Yep, I have 3 successes. So, Nausicaa is currently reading 4 books at the same time. Literally has like 4 books open. She's like holding like 2 in one hand and then others on the table. And she appears to just be kind of like staring vaguely at them. But once you get close, you can see that like her eyes are flitting across all of them. And when she sees, when she sees you approaching, she basically just like closes the books and like almost just like freezes up.
Yo, relax. I like you. Just I like you. I'm not going to hurt you.
Nausicaa gives Shea a look like she seems quite sure that she is going to hurt her after she said that. And she actually like reaches into her breast pocket and just kind of holds a hand there. You're friends with Misha.
Yeah, Misha's my friend. I gave you those butterflies, remember?
I do remember.
How are they going?
Fine. Is there a reason you're talking to me? Have I done something wrong?
No, you haven't done anything wrong. I just saw you and thought I'd talk to you. Because, like, we know each other, yo.
Nausicaa looks very suspect at this, but she'll squint slightly. She doesn't remove her hand from her like breast pocket. Sorry, like on the inside of her coat. You're Misha's friend. You're different, right?
Yeah.
Like her?
Yeah, I'm different. And she'll look at the pocket, like her hand in the pocket. So what she got in there? A knife or a gun? She's just smiling.
Oh, nothing. I'm not even going to roll because Nausicaa has terrible. Firstly, a terrible dice pool, and secondly, like literally penalties to her lying rolls. So yeah, she's lying. She does have something in there, and she puts her hand down. So, Cher, right?
Shea, Salome. Actually, I think she told her name was said her name was Salome.
Okay.
Like that. Salome. Yeah. And OC, do you remember the name Nausicaa gave?
Yeah, Anna Komnina.
And your
So Anna.
yeah, she'll go Anna, right?
Yes. I have some questions, Salome, if you would like to answer them.
Depends on the question.
And she'll kind of look around the cafe, and I'm going to say there's no one else there, just for the sake of it. You're a fae, correct?
Yes.
What kind?
Do you know about different kinds?
I'm learning.
What kinds have you met? What kinds do you know about?
She'll kind of cock her head. I'm not sure yet.
I'm a... And she'll scratch her head. Yeah, I'm one, what many would say isn't definitely not the best kind.
Why do they say that?
We don't have a good reputation.
How do you mean? A good reputation? You personally, or the group that you're associated with?
No, more the second opinion, second one. We get judged because of what we are.
Oh. Why? What do you do?
Not sure how much I can say. I'll just say that some of us are rough people.
And who is us?
The sort of fae I am. I can't really go any further.
Interesting. I recently spoke with one of your leaders, a man who called himself Leon.
Oh yeah, he's all right for one of those noble kinds.
Nobles. So, Fae Society is a caste system, correct?
It's different. They're important.
Are you a noble?
She'll look. No, please don't. I could take that as an insult. Just smile.
I did not mean it as an insult. I'm simply interested. So, you dislike the nobility? Are you a communist Fae?
I wouldn't call it communist. Yeah, I can't answer too many questions. I'm sorry.
I understand.
It's. But yeah, she'll smile. But yeah, how have you been?
I have been fine. Why?
I'm asking. I like you. I'm concerned.
Nausicaa's eyes flit to the door. What do you mean you like me? And what are you concerned about?
I don't know. I met you. You're kind of cool.
Are you attempting to flatter me?
She's like wondering, like she's asking us. She's like thinking. She just seems confused. Oh, I just think you're kind of cool.
Why?
You're awkward, but I kind of like awkward people.
Why?
Yeah, I'm kind of can be not socially awkward, but I do awkward shit.
Why?
I don't know. It's just me. I'm fucking awkward. Just small.
I was under the impression that the Fae were not awkward.
Some of us are. I mean, we're different people, yo.
Really? Leon also seemed to object when I referred to the Fae as a unified group. Am I to assume that your society is fractured?
Let's go with that. Yeah, sure.
Fascinating.
And what about your other friend, Ava? I haven't seen her for a while.
Her name's Helena.
Oh. Is she all right?
She is.
She'll smell. So you've come here before?
I have. I was experienced an unfortunate incident with the proprietor of this place. I was hoping to speak to him.
Don't think he's here right now.
No.
Did you two get into a fight?
No. By that I mean I was in his company. You may have heard about the recent difficulties at a concert.
Yeah, I heard about that.
She just nods and sips her very, very sugary coffees, belly coffees, basically just sugar and milk.
So, were you reading all these books at once?
Nausicaa looks at the books, looks a bit guilty. No. Again, it's obviously a lie.
I mean, are you sure? Because if you were, you're fucking smart.
Whether I can read books or not doesn't indicate my intelligence. Although, yes, I am objectively smart. I can say that without having any ego.
I mean, yeah, but reading 4 books at once?
I wasn't reading 4 books at once. You're imagining that.
Okay, just about.
Again, it's quite obvious that Nausicaa's like lying, or for some reason.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I'm guessing there are some things you want to keep, no, secret about your group.
What group would that be?
Oh, did they say they were mages? No.
I don't know. Nausicaa wouldn't have said it. I genuinely don't know whether Ava would have. I think she did though.
Yeah, I think she
the whole
did.
conversation. I think she did. Yeah. So I'm happy for you to know.
You know, they're and she'll lean in and whisper, you know, the magic kind. Harry Potter and all that kind.
Nausicaa scowls. I could take an insult at that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it as an insult.
I know. I was not offended. I was simply saying. Others of us might be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing there are things you want to keep secret about you guys, right?
She shrugs. I wouldn't know. As if there were any such potential group. I'm not part of it.
Again, the lie thing.
Yeah, it's totally a lie.
Yeah, you have got to get better at lying.
She scowls again and pouts and looks kind of annoyed. Is there a reason you came over to talk? Aside from pretending that you like me? After we've had one conversation?
I'm not pretending. What do you think what do you think I'm pretending?
Because people generally don't like other people for no reason.
Most people. I'm not most people.
Do you think you're better than most people?
That's not what I said. I'm just different. I don't think anyone is just better than anyone else.
Really?
Yeah, really. That's what I think.
Well, that's very noble of you. I suppose.
She squints at that. I mean, if you want to call that, sure. But no, I just like you, but I mean, I didn't want to disturb you.
Then why did you?
I did think you'd mind. I just wanted to say hi.
Nausicaa looks like she's about to say something, and then you can see she kind of like visibly checks herself. Apologies if I'm being overly rude. I hope I have not angered you.
Not angered, I just.
And she
It's
says it in
fine.
a really weird way. Like there's an
Uh,
emphasis on the angered.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna check something. I bet she's going to empathy, do empathy. Um, it's 5 dice normally. Two successes.
Yeah, you're not quite sure. There was an emphasis on the angered, and she almost said it like it's a kind of like she almost came out like very formally. Like she's kind of like repeating something that she's heard before.
Yeah, she squints. No, yeah. I mean, you haven't angered me.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really. I can't. There was that time I burst into your office, and that was kind of a dickish move, and so I gave those butterflies to you. And I mean, yeah, and now I'm just wondering how you're going. It's just about. I'm really sorry about that. I know I've said it and that I gave those butterflies as a gift to say sorry, but I'm really sorry about that time.
Again, Nausicaa has this kind of like squint on, like she's just super suspicious of Shea. Well, I accept your apology.
Thanks.
I was not overly offended. How are you and Misha? I have not seen her in a few days. She hasn't come to work.
She hasn't? She's fine. We see each other often. We don't always talk about work.
Your friends?
Yeah.
What do you think of Leon then? You said you thought he was okay for one of those types. He is a noble, correct?
What I said.
You don't normally like the nobles?
I can't really talk about it too much.
Then what do you want to talk about?
Still think. I don't know how. I don't know. How was your day? That's kind of very, usual, I guess.
I went to Easter Island.
She squints. Wait. That's a fucking long way.
It is.
You went there today?
Yes. And then I came back. The round trip was around 20 minutes.
She's just there blinking. Okay. Shit. That's pretty cool.
You sort of get the impression that Nausicaa's like testing her. Kind of messing with her.
So, no, I won't ask you many questions. No, I'll keep your private life. But yeah, so yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Holy shit, that makes traveling a whole lot easier.
Do you believe me?
I mean, I don't know what you guys can do.
Would you believe that we're beings of incredible power? Godlike power, almost?
I mean, I don't believe in God, but also you kind of depends what God you mean.
Nausicaa is going to gesture with her open hand. And because I'm showing off, I'm going to spend a willpower. Boom. Nausicaa gestures just with her. She just opens her hand and a sugar pourer flies into it from the other side of the room, like straight into her hand. And she doesn't even like look in the direction, and then just like pours some into the drink in front of her.
Okay, that's wicked.
You definitely feel that she's showing off. Like
Yeah, she's
this is like an ego trip for Nausicaa for sure.
Yeah.
Would you like some sugar?
Yeah, sure. I'll take some sugar. And she'll like hand over her tea.
Nausicaa pours it in.
So yeah, it must be pretty cool being able to do those things.
Do what?
You know what you just did. And she'll look around if anyone's around, and I guess since Nausicaa did that, there's nobody around. But she'll say, "No, the sugar thing," and she'll like make a gesture of like something moving from where it was to her hand.
Oh, that was nothing. And again, because she's not very good at hiding her kind of like emotions and like you just get the feeling that she's like bragging and showing off.
Yeah, she just smiles.
Like I said,
Like,
we're beings of godlike power.
So, would you be able to make it a rock so large you can't move it?
A rock so large you can't move it.
It's a joke. It's people talk about being God being having ultimate power and being able to do anything, and then you ask them if God can make a stone that so large he can't move. Because if he can move it, then whatever. If he can make a stone, she thinks, okay, how?
I understand. Actually, that's an interesting philosophical question. Maybe I'll ask him next time I see him.
she looks at her. I guess she's just bragging again.
Yeah, completely. like, to be fair, that comment, you get the feeling that she's like kind of like openly doing it. Like she's not really trying to convince you that she knows God on a personal level.
Yeah, when you see him, can you ask him to feed all these children in Africa too? She'll smile.
You think it's God that does that? Also could go serious for a moment.
I don't think there is a God. I think that is there because some people are just cunts. People are selfish.
But the good of the spider is not the good of the fly.
I get the meaning of that sentence, but what do you mean in that exact thing?
You think the people who are causing poverty in these areas are bad people? I'm merely pointing out that they likely don't think so. Morality is subjective. You don't believe in God? I don't believe in morality. I don't think it exists. It's a construct that we've made for ourselves to explain the universe unhelpfully.
Interesting. I mean, I don't really ask myself why I do things. I just do them because I don't know.
Because you're programmed that way.
Programmed?
Yes. At least, maybe you're not. But the human consciousness is largely programmed. Free will is, although not an illusion, I would not be so dramatic as to put it like that. A lot of what we do is predetermined. Or a lot of what they do, at least.
So, what programmed us?
A combination of our genetics and cultural programming.
Meh.
Programming is not the wrong word. What I am trying to say is, if you don't know why you do something, it's likely that your subconscious is putting you in that way. You should analyze yourself. Think about the reasons why you do things. Introspection is important if you want to understand yourself.
Just well. I like talking to you. You're very interesting. Yeah.
I find it awkward when you say you like me. I don't know why you do it. The fact that you saying you like me is actually an attempt for you to endear yourself to me, assuming that you liking me means that I will like that and therefore like you, finding some kind of validation in your approval.
She just blinks. Okay, let me rephrase that. You are very interesting.
I know. She'll take a sip of a drink. It occurs to me that we have been having a rather one-sided conversation, and that I am not fulfilling the implied social contract. How was your day? How are you?
I'm fine. Went to work, came back, and yeah, I just thought I'd have some tea, relax.
Where do you work?
Uh, or I work at both the Vixen or the Gorgon Sisters. They're two clubs. Gorgon Sisters is a strip club, which is where I work today. But yeah,
You're a waitress or a bartender? Nausicaa looks like really desperate. She really wants you to be a waitress or a bartender.
uh, she'll think, well, at Vixen I am. I dance and I wait tables at the Vixen.
Why? Do you earn good money?
It's what I like to do.
Why
I
don't you
mean,
simply invest in stocks? I'm sure you'd make more money
in what she said,
in stocks.
not about the money. I like to dance. And, well, waiting tables at the Vixen is fun. It's not about money.
Fun?
I mean, I like to do it, yeah.
In my experience, fun is overrated.
She blinked, right? I mean, I enjoy. She scratches her head, actually trying to understand. Okay, so if you don't like having fun, what do you like to do?
I like to work. I like to learn. I study, as you can see, and she gestures to the full books.
Wouldn't you? I mean, the idea of fun is different for everybody. Wouldn't you? Don't you think? Wouldn't you say you find studying fun?
Fun may be the wrong word. I find it fulfilling because I'm good at it. Maybe you have the same fulfillment from your, and her ears blush slightly, occupation.
Yeah, I do.
In my experience, contentness and what rather detractive life coaches would call happiness comes not from velocity but from acceleration. By that I mean it is not about what level you are operating at, but that you are always getting faster and faster, moving up and up. If you are on the highest rungs of society but you are stagnating, you are not going anywhere, it would likely be less fulfilling than doing something you find challenging and engaging on a more lower level. I am lucky that I have both.
I guess.
She cocks her head again. Do you find what I'm saying to be untrue in your experience?
I'd have to think about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. No.
Oscar just looks at her. How long is it going to take?
I don't know. I was just well. No, I mean, I don't know. Just the way I see life. I don't ask myself of many whys, why we are here, why all that to me doesn't matter. We're here, might as well enjoy being here, do what we like to do what fulfills us.
Interesting. And you do not wish to explain the universe at any larger level?
Not really. I get why people would want to do it. It's just not my thing. يشخص بقى.
There is one thing you could maybe help me with.
Sure, what's that?
I know I have been prying, so if you do not wish to answer it, then I understand.
I mean, I can't tell you unless you ask, right?
At the concert, something happened. From what I understand and have been told, it was some kind of chimerical monster. It made the people chatter, and it was what caused the individual playing the concert to, I believe, attack it in some way with a fiery conflagration.
So
You know what that was.
I wasn't there. I don't really know exactly know what happened there. So no, I don't really know what that was.
Some kind of chimerical creature or entity, an evil one.
Yeah, when it was. I mean, I heard about it, but yeah, no.
No. I was a little disappointed. I was simply curious.
You're allowed to be curious. It's your smell.
It is not a case of permission. I have no choice.
Yeah, I guess so. So, but yeah, I've been. My day was good, and okay. There's something well, it's not exactly. It's not exactly. Well, it's not that recent. It's about, I think, 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Don't know if you care, but I'm proud of it, and I got over my alcohol addiction. I shall say, like, genuinely, she looks genuinely proud of herself.
Oscar puts her drink down. I'm glad. So many people don't value sobriety.
Yeah, I used to. I don't know. Something happened, and I drink to forget, but it always came the next day, so there's no use of really doing it.
This is good. This is a laudable thing. You have improved yourself. I have friends who used to drink too much, and some that still do. They even use drugs recreationally. I've told them it is bad for them.
Is But yeah, I mean, if you think I can help get them over their addiction, I can, if you want to. If you want me to help.
I do not think they would be receptive to it. They seem to think that I am being overly fussy when I point out their addiction. One of my friends drinks maybe 5 or 6 drinks a week. And Nausicaa looks very intense about this.
she spells, oh, baby. Oh, my sweet summer child. That is not that. I'm not sure I would call that an addiction.
Then what would you call it? Why else would they do it? It tastes so bad.
I mean, that's your opinion. Some people like the taste. No, it's an opinion. It's taste. You can't tell people are. She seems like trying to explain, but she's like, it's like colors.
Colors?
You have your favorite color. Other people have their favorite colors. There are colors you like. There are colors you don't like. It's the same with taste.
I believe, in fact, I know that colors are simply different wavelengths of reflected light. How we perceive them and how we define them is more of a cultural impact than anything. However, that said, I like purple.
See, I like purple too. Purple's cool.
Do we have a Grace? Or do we have a Misha?
Grace hasn't done any cross venue in a while.
Let's have a Grace, yeah.
I just need to know where you're at. But I'm assuming Nausicaa will invite her. So
we're at Cadwell's tea house. Yeah, if she messaged Nausicaa, say she did it like before the scene started, being like, "Hey, where are you?" She'll just reply very de facto.
Tea house in Queens.
She'll say yes. She'll say whatever Cadwell's tea house is called.
Ritual tea.
There you are, then.
Yes. And she'll probably a couple of seconds later it'd be something like, because basically she did a quick Google search to find out where it actually is, and just be like, yeah, I should get out of here a bit. So yeah, since I already made my roll for the day, yeah, she will say, I don't know what the heck you guys were talking about or doing, but she kind of wanders, sort of into this place, looking a tiny bit lost. She doesn't know much about Queens. She's more familiar with Bronx and Brooklyn. So, yeah, she sort of wanders in looking a bit lost and looks less lost when she recognizes Nausicaa, who is inexplicably actually out somewhere drinking something that isn't sugary or gross.
And lo and behold, she's with someone too.
I would like to say for posterity that Nausicaa drinking is incredibly sugary.
Yeah.
And she was alone until someone came to pester her. But no, she's not alone right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Nausicaa is having it's got to the point where Nausicaa is just having a bit of tea with a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
Here, I'll switch this because it'll make life easier for poor Nelson. And maybe for Robbie too. Yeah, so she kind of sees Nausicaa, looks relieved that she found this place. And will sort of wander over that direction. Hey.
Hello, Sophia. Would you like to join me?
I mean, I came all the way to Queens just to see you.
Why? What's happened?
Nothing. I just came to Queens to see you. You're important.
Nausicaa squints again suspiciously. She actually looks between the two of them, almost as if she believes they're in some kind of cahoots.
Salam is kind of leans next like towards. She thinks it's weird that I like her. And she then smiles at Sophia. Hi, I'm Salome.
Yeah, she will offer a hand to shake. It is actually her right hand, quite particularly, but yeah, like she's wearing short sleeves. You can see there's scarring all up and down her arm. It's pretty bad.
Okay.
On her left arm. But she'll offer her right hand and say hi. Yeah. Well, she just said it, but I'm Sophia or Sophie, whatever you want to call me.
What do you prefer?
They're equally good. I will even respond to Soph.
Sophia is cool. I like Sophia.
Fantastic.
Why do you like everything?
I mean, she said it's a Sophie, or Soph, and I like Sophia better out of those three.
Also, again, squints. Like, again, just like, yeah, suspicious of this whole complimenting system. Would you like a drink, Sophia? I had a twin mango venti passion fruit cream latte. If you add enough sugar to it, it doesn't taste that bad.
She's kind of blinking. Whoa.
Yeah, like her mouth sort of opens and closes. Like, I have things to say, but I'm not gonna say them. And she'll just be like, "Still better than that pizza."
What pizza?
Yeah, actually, the really disgusting one that you had. But it's okay. I still like
Louise? That man is an artist.
Right. Give me a minute. I'll go up and get something. And yeah, she'll head up to the front. And eventually comes back with some strangely artisan blend that involves probably a bit of cherry flavoring. But it's actually kind of a more earthy blend, aside from that little hint of fruit. And no sugar. There's no sugar added. And she'll sit down with it.
Salome has been telling me about how she's no longer an alcoholic. I was thinking maybe she could talk to some of our other friends. About how to defeat their alcoholism.
Oh, like what? As an inspirational speaker?
As a fellow addict, somebody they would be able to sympathize with. They don't seem to listen to me.
Well, I mean, people have to want to change before they can. As Grace carefully responds as a counselor.
Yes, but if they met Salome and they saw her life, they may realize that they might end up like her someday.
Is your life that bad, Salome?
My life isn't. I don't think so.
Maybe we shouldn't be quite so judgy, Anna. She kind of blinks.
Oh, apologies. And she looks at Grace like, I get it. Yes, I understand. Gives her like a knowing nod, like, yes, of course. We should. I'm sure your life is very nice.
I mean, I like my life. I have my friends, and she's scratching her head. Is this about me not caring how much money I make?
Well, from what you said, sounds like you have a very limited stock portfolio.
Life is not necessarily all about stock portfolios.
Oscar gives Sophia a look like she just said the sky is red or something.
This should not actually even be a shock.
No, it's not. But
I mean, I'm just saying what Grace said, because she knows Grace is like really not even worried about money. I mean, some of us have other focuses. Or foci? Foci. I mean, I understand that.
Sorry, Noska just briefly kind of like, just instinctively and subconsciously just like touches her breast pocket where her wand is, as you said.
I mean, that's legit. We're mages, man. So, tell me more about your foci, Salome.
I do what I like to do. I'm a dancer, sort of dancer. I mean, there's two places I work. One where I'm, well, fuck it, I'll just say it. I'm a stripper, and the other one I'm a dancer and I wait tables, and I like doing that. And I mean, the main focus about in my life is my friends. I have friends who were there for me when I had many troubles, and so I'm there for them.
That seems like a pretty legitimate focus to me.
Noska actually kind of like puts her head down a bit and looks a little bit ashamed when you say that.
Sure, look, you're right, you're right, Anna.
Yes. And she'll just sip her drink.
So, Sophia, right? What do you do for a living?
I run a women's shelter.
That's pretty cool. What neighborhood?
It's in Manhattan, actually. And she'll actually reach in her, she has a purse or something. No, probably her bag. So it's like a large purse. And she will fish out a card and put it in front of her. And it's an address in Manhattan. I can't remember. I actually had it, but it's in my blue book that nobody's given me that information back yet. So I don't have it. But, you know, it just says, you know, and it was, God, what was it called? It has the name of the shelter and an address. And she's just going to be like, yeah, here. I mean, if you don't need the card, that's fine. But maybe if you run into someone who does, give it to them.
I will. She smells. No, yeah, I've met a few people who go there. I mean, sometimes, my dad has more money than, well, he gives me money sometimes, and I have more than he really wants to give me more than I really need, and so sometimes I get extra food and give it to you homeless people, or well, people in the streets I see that are hungry. I've met a few people that go to that shelter.
Well, we can always use more volunteers if you run into extra time and just want to help. Even a few hours a week could be very helpful.
I mean, I work sometimes during the day, but most of my work is at night. Yeah, I can come as a volunteer.
We do background check, of course, considering the situation that we have people in, but we have to make sure that, we're not letting in some kind of felon.
Are you a criminal?
No. Well,
then if you want to, come by and I'll see what I can do for you. So we'll run the background check, get you set up. That's up to you. This is not pressuring you.
No, I like it. I'll come over.
Excellent. And she'll take a sip of her tea, which is actually probably to her very good. I have a feeling that Nausicaa would just dump some sugar in it.
Oh, yeah. Nausicaa's actually looking at the pair of them, and she looks kind of a bit... Grumpy's not the right word, but kind of like a little... Throughout this whole chat, you were just having a little kind of like solemn, maybe.
Are you okay, Anna?
Yes, I'm fine. I was telling Shalom earlier that morality is a cultural construct and that it doesn't truly exist.
Well, even if it's a construct, it certainly seems to exist to those of us who use it, regardless of how it came to be.
Yes, I can see that. Likely it is a beneficial tool for society.
It can be. It can also be used to punish people who don't fall into the right moral code. Like anything, it's a double-edged sword.
Interesting. Could there perhaps be groups of people who believe what they're doing is moral, when in fact it is amoral?
Absolutely.
Punishing people who do not conform to it. Oscar's strongly kind of like lathering it on thick, clearly hinting Grace, pretty obviously.
Yeah, Grace just looks at her and she's like, the Catholic Church.
No, although maybe. I'll text you.
I was offering a good historic aspect, and yes, feel free.
Oscar texts just like a capital T.
You get back a thumbs up. But yes, there's definitely quite a few examples of morality gone astray.
That is definitely true.
The only reason I brought up the Catholic Church is because, like, they would burn people or torture them just because they didn't quite believe exactly the right thing, when in reality, those people were actually doing good.
Salome also brought up God. in a moral aspect earlier.
She what?
She also brought up God earlier in a moral aspect.
God is at the center of a lot of morality, whether you believe in it or not. There's no denying the facts of history. That a lot of people do believe in God.
I mean, there are more religious people than there are atheists in the world.
Oh, I'm not an atheist. I'm also not into God.
What do you believe in, if I may ask? I know some people are very personal about that.
I wouldn't say so much. It's more about Mother Nature. It's a very naturistic thing that I'm into. I believe in the powers of nature and all of her creatures and how we're all intertwined.
She's about to say, you can say she's about to say like, and then she looks at Anossia and goes, I can respect that.
It's true. Ecosystems are in fact fascinating. We touched on them briefly when we were studying, and the unknown changes that can be wrought by even minor introductions into a delicate ecosystem. They replicate. These sort of systems are replicated in weather as well as the stock market.
Grace just smiles to Nausicaa and just shakes her head a little bit. But doesn't say anything because there's no point in arguing this. I believe that nature can protect us, defend us, but it is not fair. Fair is not part of it.
I do not believe in fair. There is no such thing. The universe simply is. There is no moral guidance behind it, one way or the other.
Where do you stand, Salome?
I mean, I really ask myself that kind of question. I mean, don't do to others what you wouldn't like done upon you. I guess, but no, I mean, I'm not exactly sure where I stand. I try to be a good person.
Do what you will, and you harm none.
Just smile. I mean, I try not to harm others unless it's because they're harming my friends or just being a dick.
Oh, dicks abound out there, so. Oh, see, when she said that, do what you will, and you harm none, was totally quoting like a Wiccan thing. I didn't know if anybody would catch it, though.
I see. I haven't seen it myself in a while, but yeah, Shay would definitely. She'll smile. Wicked.
Also fairly valid. I don't necessarily believe in fate, but I mean, the whole what goes around comes around idea is certainly seems to have some validity.
It does. I can attest to that. However, not in a moral sense. It is not so much fate as it is cause and effect. If you do something, there will be a reaction to that thing.
An equal and opposite reaction.
Nausicaa gives a very approving nod at Grace.
She has a lot of sciences, remember? Well, she has 2 sciences. For someone who isn't into science, she has 2 sciences.
Still, there is an approving nod. Exactly. This can often be perceived as different cultural entities, such as karma, or as you say. But it is simply not the case. There is no guiding principle behind it, aside from the laws of thermodynamics and the conservation of energy.
I don't think I could live if I felt that way. I think that I would find that very difficult to believe to be real. I think it's far more complex than just science coming up with things. I mean, it's fine if that's what you're into. You know I'm fine with it. Because we've talked about this, but I think there's more.
And as I have said in the past, I do not believe that science is an exclusive discipline that is all-encompassing.
I know. It works for you.
It does. And it works for airplanes and the internet and human civilization at large. Your own beliefs I did not believe to be incompatible with it, though, as we have said in the past.
She nods.
Also kind of gets the hint that she's maybe being a bit preachy, so she just kind of like stops.
Yeah, I mean, Grace just kind of glances to Salome and she's like,
So, how do you two know each other?
I provide charitable contributions towards Grace's foundation. Nausicaa has just completely has the look on her face of like, great save.
yeah, Grace looks up and quickly tries to cover a little bit, which is hilarious. Yes, actually, she was kind enough when I was ready to open a new shelter that her company was generous enough to help me to fund the first few months and the starting costs.
We also used it as a tax-deductible charitable contribution write-off.
Indeed. As she looks at Nausicaa, because that was actually Grace's idea, but obviously somebody doesn't know that.
That's very cool. That's, yeah, very noble of you. Eggshell looks at Anna.
Nobility has nothing to do with it. If you don't make philanthropic contributions on the street, people will think there's something wrong with you. It was the correct tactical move.
Don't let her fool you. Yes, all those things are true. But Anna's more than that.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. She smiles to Anna.
Angry, grumpy, Nausicaa scowl face. Takes a sip of a drink. Has a
Yes.
cream mustache.
She actually gives her. I mean, she gives her a very genuine smile. Like, yeah, she was teasing a little bit, but she was being quite sincere. Probably embarrassed her a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you're more than that.
Nausicaa again just does the same thing she did before when he compliments and just gives you like the weirdest look. Why? You keep saying this.
I mean, well, for one, she's your friend. She knows you better than I do, and she thinks you have more than that.
We're business partners.
Do you always invite business partners when you have tea? Well, all your other business partners.
I didn't invite her. She messaged me asking where I was. I answered, and she turned up.
Well, let's put it this way. I am her friend. Whether she is my friend is up to her. As she looks to first Anna and then to Shea, Shea too. But
I think defining friendship is a far too complex thing to do so easily. Nausicaa's definitely like defensive over this.
Oh, Grace expected it. I mean, Grace kind of knows her pretty well. Not like perfectly, but she certainly knows her pretty well.
She knows all like as good as anybody, basically.
Yeah. For the record, Grace does not look hurt by any of this.
We have
when no, I'm just saying to
okay.
For Nelson.
We have a functional working relationship, and that's what's important.
How sincere does she look there? Like, because I know when she's completely lying, it's easy to tell, but I'm not sure how that depends on how she thinks of it.
I mean, this sort of things like you can't really tell if someone's lying because but you definitely feel that, or it's very obvious that Nausicaa is being defensive, and in a large way, she's probably saying it's for her own benefit.
Okay, I mean,
and Grace doesn't appear to believe her whatsoever.
Okay. I mean,
I feel like we need a bog in here to like look at the relationship things.
I don't know what that is.
They have I forget what the right word for it is. A birthright that they can roll something, and they can basically after they've been in their room for a little bit, for at least I don't know how long, but a little bit. And once they have, they can kind of roll the thing and basically get information on the relationships between every single person in the room.
Interesting.
So it's all kinds of socially useful.
Yeah.
So I feel like we need that here because you have Grace saying one thing who seems perfectly fine with Nausicaa putting everything down. And then you have Nausicaa who's just like saying all these things that don't sound very nice. It's just funny. Only Shea was a boggin.
If only. She's a redcap. She's close to the opposite. Her birthright is being scary. And eating stuff too, I guess.
Yeah. You know, the eating stuff. This tea is pretty good.
Yeah. A friend owns it.
Your friend
see.
Cadwell?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I call it a friend. I've met him a few times. We hang out sometimes, but yeah. I mean, I know the guy. I know the guy who owns it. That's a better way to say it.
Wow, that was a lot of explanation.
We have perhaps undermined her appreciation of using the word friend colloquially.
I'm not here to judge.
I believe she was sleeping earlier on the bench.
Sofa. But yes. Having a nap.
Do you have a home?
I do. I just came here after work and had tea, and I just drifted off to sleep. That's all. I didn't come here and intend to sleep. I just drifted off and had that little nap.
Well, aren't you lucky that, you know, someone with sticky fingers didn't find you? Or did they?
She'll check her pocket. We're like, nope, everything's there.
Damn, it didn't work this time.
She smiles.
Maybe she's not around. She doesn't say that in character.
I don't think you know enough. I don't think she's ever told you that.
I don't think she knows anything about me.
Actually, yes, she does. That's how she hid with the wallets. You
No.
do know.
Yeah.
Damn wallets. No, Grace couldn't steal anything even if she tried. Well, was there anything else interesting in this neighborhood? Because I really don't know this area.
Oh, you see, it's Queens, right?
Yep.
There's... Well, no, you probably wouldn't find it interesting. You don't... I mean, it's a strip club, and it's where one of the places where I work. So, and it's a strip club, so I don't think you'd be interested. Although there are guys there too. It's a very specific, it's very niche customer. We're all dressed up in there.
A strip club where you dress up.
I mean, we're all... She says, okay,
Oxymoronic.
we're all dressed up like zombie, like vampires and stuff like that.
That is a little unusual.
So yeah,
Why?
horror themed. She shrugged. Ask the boss, I guess.
I will not. That can remain a mystery for me.
I don't feel any particular urges to go there either, but I don't object to it.
Is that when she'll think, what else is there? She works there. She probably has a few things she knows about. She'll say, what are you into?
I don't know. I just didn't know if there was any good restaurants or interesting sites.
There's There's a place where they make really good dishes and salads and stuff. And
I didn't hear the first part of what you said. I'm sorry.
there's a place where they make really good burgers and really good salads.
Interesting combo. That doesn't usually happen together.
I know, right? But yeah, no, they make both, and they're both pretty good. Well, they make other stuff, but their burgers and the salads are pretty good. And sure thing.
That place might actually work for us. As she kind of looks at Anna, because salads for Grace, burgers, yeah.
There's a tattoo place, but I'm not sure. You guys don't seem to have any tattoos, so I'm not sure how interested you are. There's a florist. They're super nice.
This does sound like the absolute most interesting neighborhood.
I mean, they're not exactly. Well, they're not in the exact neighborhood, but yeah, it's not too far. I kind of move around the city a lot, so yeah. They're all not within, I think, 15, 20 minutes by car.
I do find that cars to be a really awkward way to travel around here. Like, keeping a car is really expensive.
Well, I mostly use my bike, but yeah.
Public transit or somebody else's car works for me.
Public transport is highly convenient, even if you own your own car. Often the traffic makes it difficult to use.
I like to use my car when I'm on that run for when I get food for, as I was saying before, the people that needs it. I just can fill up the boot with food and give it to them. It's kind of awkward to do that when it's someone else's car. And it's a lot of food to carry if you're in public transport.
Do they take it? I would not accept food off a stranger from the street, likely.
I mean,
when you're desperate, sometimes you'll take whatever you can get. I mean, I've luckily never been in that situation, but I see a lot of women who are.
So yeah, if they ever said that there's some random chick that gave them food, that's probably me. Just smile.
Most it's just like she's not really sure what to say.
However, it probably would be more easily accepted if it was given by some organization known to be a community food program.
She'll nod, I guess. But I'd like to know what I give instead of just giving money and not knowing what the organization gives them.
McDonald's gift cards.
She smells. But yeah, there are places where I go regularly where they know me, so now they just take the food there. I don't. I'm going to say that word again. No, no, she says, but I don't like it when I see people in the streets. They're going. You can see that they're going hungry.
She glances to Nausicaa, just trying to see what she's doing, what she's thinking.
She's probably just sort of, yeah, kind of pretending that this, like, yeah, she's not really sure how to contribute to this conversation. So yeah, she's probably just sort of drinking tea, pretending that she's not really listening, even though she obviously is.
I mean, don't you guys feel like when you see someone in the street, don't you ever feel like you want to help?
I do, as much as I can.
I mean, oh, yeah, you're a guidance scam. Yeah, a women's scam. You will always actually say, well, you, with what you do, yeah. Nausicaa? Well, she'll say, I'm sorry, she won't say Nausicaa. She doesn't know that name. But Anna, do you ever feel that way?
Largely, I don't consider it.
You don't consider helping people? You don't consider helping people that are going hungry?
I employ a dozen people directly and dozens more indirectly. So no, I guess I don't.
Mm.
Do you find that immoral or perhaps callous or selfish?
Sure thing. Wouldn't call it immoral. I mean,
I give large amounts of charitable contributions.
you do that, so you do your part. See, you do your part. You know, I don't think you're selfish.
Why?
Because you give money to. You just said you.
But I give very little of my own time, and the money I give is largely unmissed. As a percentage of earnings, I likely give a lot less than many people, even though it is a lot more. Do you find that more or less moral than somebody that perhaps earns very little but gives a higher percentage?
She's scratching her head. Leads to Sophia. She always like that.
Thought provoking? Yes. She is.
I mean, I guess it's. I guess what is more moral is giving more of a percentage, but I don't know. It's weird. Yeah.
So would it be more moral if I donated $1 million and saved hundreds of lives than somebody that has very little and donates $100 and likely makes no direct impact?
I
Which is more moral?
guess.
This comes back to what I was saying before. Morality is subjective. And because it doesn't really exist.
Okay. I see what you mean. That's my head a little, but I see what you mean. And she'll chuckle.
So yeah, Nausicaa just sort of like sits back and drinks her coffee. Although it's not coffee, it's just milk and sugar and a tiny bit of coffee.
So, actually, I don't think I've ever asked you that before, Sophia. But Anna. But well, question to both of you: How have you guys always lived in New York, or are you kind of newish, or come from somewhere else?
I am from Greece.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool. When did you come over?
Nausicaa will give you an exact date. And again, it sounds a little rehearsed. Probably a date like about 8 months ago.
Okay. Then she also gave like the hour at which she came and the shit.
She does what she probably could do.
That would be so horrible.
Okay, that shall say, okay, that was precise.
Would you have preferred if I'd been less precise?
Not sure if I would have liked it more or less. It's just people just say like, oh, I was here about 6 months ago. I arrived around 8 months ago. Not sure if I would have liked it more or less. I don't. Sophia, how long have you been in New York?
About 2.5 years. I moved here for a job after I graduated college.
You guys like it?
Mm-hmm.
She says, you guys like it?
It's challenging. I mean, I'm from a suburb, and this is just, there's just so much happening here. But it is nice, having so many options safe. I could walk out and there's like 5 restaurants around me, and none of those would exist back where I live,
That is pretty nifty.
How about you? How long have you been in the city?
I've been here a while now. I'm from France, which is where my name comes from, Salome Nechalsbau. But I came here when I was 5 years old. 4 years old. And my mom had met her boyfriend, which I knew, and they wanted to get married, and so she decided to come to New York and live with him. And now he's, well, I call him he's technically my stepdad, but I call him my dad. Because I don't know my actual father.
Family can mean a lot of things. If he feels like a dad to you, then he's your dad.
We have our differences. He doesn't like what I do, but no, we get along as long as we don't talk about this work.
Have you told him you're not an alcoholic anymore?
Yeah, I have. He's proud of me. He likes that. He doesn't like my line of work, but I mean that he just has to deal with.
There are times it isn't the safest line of work. I can understand his concern.
I mean, I know how to defend myself, but And I've told him I know how to defend myself, but it's more than that. It's about the image I give out.
I'm not worried about your image as much as your safety. It's good that you can defend yourself, definitely. It's something I see a lot of. You're certainly not the first dancer that I've run into.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in trouble. People have been assholes, and I've been, attacked in the street. But I get out of it. I know how to fight. I've been inside. I've learned different martial arts since I was a kid. Kind of, my mom and dad took me to sign me up for different things, different martial arts here and there.
Really?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, at first when I first came to New York, I wasn't happy about being in a big city and changing homes because well, a lot of kids are like that, and they just thought it was a way for me to spend my energy and take out my anger into doing something.
Do you experience a lot of anger?
Not as much as when I was a kid, but yeah, I still do. There are things that bug me. But I'm actually, most of the time I can get a hold of myself.
This is good. Not being in control of your emotions is not helpful.
But yeah, no, I mean, I shall look to Sophia. My dad, my dad is Victor Monroe, and OC. She her fame one is just because of her father, who's a politician. So if you're interested in politics, you even not a lot, even if you're just little interested in politics, you've probably heard his name, at least.
She probably has heard yeah, she's not super into it, but there are times it can affect her, so she probably heard the name.
He's a left-wing guy, but he's kind of always looks good and blah blah blah, and it has his image thing. So yeah, it's which I like his politics. I just as a kid, his work life was very important to him, and sometimes it's stopped him from being as much as a father I would have liked him to be. But we've talked about that, and I mean, that was in the past. Can't really change anything now. We get along now. But yes, he still has his image thing. He wonders what people will think, when they know that, the daughter of Victor Monroe is a stripper. And I'm like, why do you care what other people think? And yeah.
On the other hand, it doesn't make sense to just ignore the fact that you had to know going into this that there were going to be people that would react that way. If you didn't pay attention or didn't care, that's fine, but it would be absurd to not accept that would happen.
When I went to it, I didn't really care. I just want to do. I just wanted to do what I was good at and what I enjoyed doing. And I'm good at dancing, and I enjoy dancing, and I'm good at it. And just about, and people seem to enjoy when I dance. So why not do it? You know?
Not here to judge your life choices, just
And I
telling you my
guess
experiences. Not that I've been a dancer, but I'm assuming you mean stripping, right? Or are you some other sort of dancer?
well, I do. I'm a stripper, but I mean, at the Vixen when I dance, I don't take my clothes off. I'm not wearing a lot of clothes, but I don't take my clothes off. I
She nods.
just like to dance in general. Just I think it's a good way to spend energy, and it's fun. I think it's fun.
No, she nods. She's like, that's what I was thinking you meant. I just wanted to clarify. You could have been doing it on Broadway for all I knew.
I could be. I don't know. I just feel I like to have the people I dance for being closer, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the way the world is. People are going to look at a stripper and go, here's complete load of bullshit that I think about this. It's out there. It sucks. It shouldn't be out there, but it is.
Oscar looks guilty. Oscar looks guilty.
Meanwhile, Grace is looking totally not judgy because she literally does deal of course she's met strippers that have gotten abused or ended up in a shelter, you know? So, yeah, she's just like talking pretty matter-of-factly about the whole thing. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna go see if I can get a refill of this. Or maybe I can try something different. Kind of ponders.
They have good herbal teas if you like that.
I do like tea. Which is good since I was so graciously invited here. Specific emphasis on the word invited as she looks at Nazca.
By who?
So
Why,
you
of
did
course.
invite her.
You, of course. Don't deny that you love me. You know you do.
So you did invite her, right? Just about.
Oscar looks a little angry. Like
Grace is
gonna,
just... Oh, go ahead.
like she's gonna say something. And then you get a moment of her like having kind of like a little like a kind of like a deep breath moment. And she'll be like, I know that you're only teasing. And I know that you do not mean it in a bad way. And she just says that.
Okay,
Yeah, Grace just sobers really quickly at that point and kind of studies her like just for a second. And she'll be like, of course I was. Did I do something wrong?
No, I am making a conscious effort to be nicer to people.
Grace will sort of, before she starts to walk away, will sort of lean into her ear and just sort of say, I'm sorry. Just like sort of whisper it really quietly. And then walk up to try to get another cup of tea.
I didn't mean it in any harmful way either. I was just sorry. I won't tease you anymore.
Nausicaa doesn't really say anything. She looks a little, like, confused. She wasn't... Yeah. Either way, I have to go.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Is that so? Well, maybe I can get my tea to go then. Maybe we can share an Uber back or something.
Okay. That sounds economically efficient. Good idea.
Yeah.
Salome smiles that economically efficient.
She'll walk back up and ask for the tea to be put in one of those, those styrofoam cups or whatever kind of cup they've got that's to go. And then she'll come back in 2 minutes because basically it requires to pour it in,
Yeah. Nausicaa will stand as she's ready to go. Well, Salome, this conversation has been more interesting than I expected it would be.
she blinks, like not sure what to think. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the conversation. And Sophia, right? It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, just come by at your convenience and, well, if you want to. Again, no pressure.
The more and more someone says no pressure, the more it gives pressure. She smiles.
She just offers a grin, and then turns to Nausicaa.
I'll see you guys around. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, I'll come over soon.
Of course you will. She'll start to head out, assuming, everybody goes that direction.
Yeah, and with that, I guess that's where we can end the scene. Thank you.
Sorry, one sec. The only thing Nausicaa will say on the way out, once it's just her and Grace, is she'll simply say, I didn't think you were being offensive in there. I simply am going to make an effort to be nicer to people. After James.
Yeah, Grace will just look at her and will kind of just briefly sort of pat her hand. Just a quick. She's not doing anything weird.
No, yeah, Nausicaa seems okay with it.
Yeah, and she's get you that kind of that look crosses her face because when she thinks about James, it's still obviously it brings you down a bit. And yeah, that's probably really all the acknowledgement that requires it. She'll nod. Understand.
There were things I wish I'd said to him that I didn't, and there are things that I said to him that now I wish I had not. I don't want to make the same mistake again. And after this, Nausicaa literally turns kind of like a bright red, and will just walk off. Clearly, this was just way too awkward for her.
So she's gonna follow, and even though you can't see it, she has kind of a proud look on her face. She knows Nausicaa's just made a big step.
Yeah, she has.
So yeah, you wouldn't see it since you're ahead of me, but she totally has that. Yeah, this is awesome. Look.
And I guess then with that, this is where we can end the scene. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and see you on another